My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
So, oh my God, 5 minutes. Oh, there he is again. That's him. Let's see what the hell is he saying on this one. Racist Andrew. Is that his name? There's no comment on this. Let's go into that. Pause it. Okay. He's behaving like a spoiled child. He's lost the plot, and so has his wife. Andrew Pierce claimed Prince Harry for demanding an apology from Prince William. When did Harry said that? I just did a video for our Port of View service. Harry was minding his own business, focusing on Invictus and things that he's gonna be doing in New York. Oh my God, Harry was right when he was at the Obama Foundation, when he said something like he could be because of the work that he does, he could be surrounded by negativity sometimes.
I think without credit, I mean, I've been a pessimist many times because of the work that we end up doing. You can be surrounded by negativity sometimes.
It is in full display right now. These are the negativities that he was talking about. Harry's doing good thing. People around the world like it. So these evil, oh my God, evil people are trying to deter him from doing the good thing that he's doing. Harry was right. Oh my God. When I say evil originated in the UK, I'm being proved every day. All right, let's see what this one has to say here. The same guy, who knows, probably saying the same thing, but a different way. Okay, his behavior, did I read that? He's behaving like a spoiled child. He's lost the plot, and so has his wife. Okay, Harry and Meghan are minding their own business. So I don't know what he's saying that Harry is saying. Let's listen to his BS. This is why I put this stuff on this channel, because I do not want them on my other channel, because these are full trash. Let's listen.
I was a fan of Harry. I think he's completely lost the plot. He's behaving like a spoilt child, so's his wife. But this is extraordinary, isn't it? Laying down demands when he's written the book which has attacked Prince William, attacked Prince William's wife, attacked the King and the Queen, and in fact the whole flipping royal family shooting match.
Okay, were you there when all of this thing happened? How come William and all the other people that Harry mentioned in his book then come out and say no, that didn't happen? You know what? The law, how do you call this? The court is there for everybody. If William isn't, then William called people to court before, then Charles called people to court. The court is there. If they think Harry was defaming them, the court is there. Oh my God, who are you to talk on things when you weren't even there? So that's one thing. Let's continue.
He should be apologising.
Exactly what I was going to say. He should be the one apologising to William. I mean, I'm not quite sure what he wants William to apologise for. That's not made clear. Look, they've had several chances to reconcile. They've had the Queen's funeral, they've had Charles with cancer and Kate. They are growing further apart from what I can see.
As far as I'm concerned, Harry has moved on. I don't think Harry's even thinking about these people. Where did they come up with these things? On one of the videos I did yesterday, I think one part of it is oops, not that one. Part of it, I think this one, yeah. Part of it here is live. They're having the same narrative. Where did they come up with that? Where did Harry said some of the things these people are saying? This book have been, what? When did it come out? 2023? When did Harry say any of these things that these people are arguing about? But let's listen. Oh my goodness.
There's no chance of reconciliation at all. And I do think Harry has got a very distorted perspective of what is going on. If he thinks his brother is going to apologise to him, I cannot even fathom what he's supposed to be apologising for.
Okay, last time I heard from the docuseries, Harry knew he's not gonna get anything from these people. He's moved on. He's moved on. This conversation should have come out right after the docu-series, but it's been, what, a year or so since the docu-series? Harry moved on. He's gonna be in New York in a couple weeks to do his things. Last time he was in Colombia doing his thing. So what are these people talking about? Harry's minding his own business, but let's continue.
I mean, there was this story, wasn't there, about this incident in which they had an actual physical altercation that was in Spare. And I've been trying to sort of work out what it is that he might want an apology for. Maybe it is specifically that incident, maybe, you know, but underneath so much of what he talks about, Joe, is this sense with Prince Harry that he always feels inferior. I mean, the title of his book, Spare, is because he was known as the spare to the heir that was Prince William.
Which is pretty fitting for the title of the book. So, what's the problem with that?
As a psychologist, can he ever really lance that particular emotional boil? Just saying sorry from Prince William isn't going to cut it, is it?
No, and I think with Prince Harry, you're right about the spare thing. But you know, there's been lots of people who have been spares. You can say Prince Andrew was spare, and that actually hasn't served him terribly well either. But he's made a role of it. He's created a dynamic from that role, which he is capitalizing on. And
well, he is actually a spare. Capitalizing on what? His experience? He's telling his side of the story because you guys were pretty much controlling the narrative ever since his mom passed. Okay, you guys were controlling the narrative. But as soon he put his foot down, as soon as you shift your stupidity to his wife, he said, that's it. No, this is not going to happen. Did his brother and father ever put a stop to some of you who's spewing BS nonstop? Did William or Charles put a stop to your BS? Why are you still talking about him? He moved on. Maybe the reason that they're talking about that, could it be because of the paperback of the spare that's coming out? Oh, I don't know. These people. All right, let's finish with that really quick.
then he starts believing that he really is hard done by because he's in this junior role where he'll never be king. And I don't think he thinks in the real world anymore. I think he's so far removed from actuality, from reality now, at least in terms of the royal family, that nothing shocks me that he says anymore or asks for, but I do think none of it's going to happen at all. I mean,
Harry is living in reality, okay? These people over there, especially the people that's talking, they live in a twilight zone. Because I don't understand where I don't know. Where do these people getting their narrative from? Harry have moved on. Oh, Lord.
He's pursuing the British press. Isn't he? He's still going on with that. He's living his life in California. I'm sure he's very happy.
Okay, I see why they're talking about this. The lawsuit that's coming up and what is it? And is it in 2025? Is it January or February? So they still are him. They want him to stop that lawsuit because Harry is not stopping because they've been at it for years. Okay, now Harry finally put a foot down. He said, I'm going to take it all away. So that's why these people... Okay. Oh, Lord.
Out there, not even quite sure what he wants. And I don't think he knows what he wants either.
No, he knows what he wants. Leave him alone. He knows what he wants. Leave him alone. He put his book out, his experience, and he's moved on. But you guys continue talking about him nonstop.
More to the point.
I was pretty amazed, Joe, that at that funeral just a week or two ago of Lord Fellows, his uncle, that neither William or Harry spoke to each other. I mean, I think shame on both of them, really. It's a funeral.
Okay. The other thing here, what I've heard so far, there's a possibility the other brother probably didn't even show up. But what most reporting are saying, Harry was there. So Harry went to respect, for his uncle, and then he moved on. There's nothing to do with William. I don't even think William was over there. Because if he was over there, you guys would have known, okay? Because some of the squad were saying many of the British papers were asking locals if they saw whatever it is that they saw. So, which means William did not go. Otherwise, he would have leaked it. He would have leaked information to you guys. So, that's another point the squad made that I saw on Twitter.
They could have at least exchanged pleasantries.
I agree. I mean, this is what I mean about them growing further apart, because when they had other formal occasions, the unveiling of the statue of their mother, they did share a few words. You've seen them have a few slightly clipped, not very warm words together, but in this instance, there was absolutely nothing.
She's talking as if she was there. This is the part where Harry was saying the family aspect should be made private, and public aspect, hey, if he's doing a public engagement, take pictures. But you guys refuse to take his words as it is. You want to mangle into everything, just like you guys are talking right now. What it is matter to you that he talk or doesn't talk with William? This is private matter. This is the thing Harry has been saying. You guys are living in an echo chamber, refuse to listen to him when he says something. What makes you think he's not talking? Well, then again, the other brother would probably leak it. Maybe important information Harry doesn't speak to his brother about because he knows it's going to be in the media sooner or later.
So, again, one of the reasons why I wrote this book is every word in that book is mine. And I realize that especially...
What do you mean by that?
Because the amount of unnamed sources that have fed information to the British tabloids about me and my wife and my family...
You have a source,
true
and it's you.
and not true. I am the source of that book. So, again, one of the reasons why...
So none of the thing that you guys are talking about, him talking with his brother, it's none of our business. Talking to his father, none of our business. This is where the privacy come. It's none of their business to talk about it. This is a perfect display of what he was saying when he was living in the UK. Privacy. This is information between father and son and brothers with brothers. None of us should know any of this. But you refuse to listen. You refuse to listen. So it's all on you. I mean, I guess you guys need to make money. That's why you're talking about him. But other than that, Harry's doing his thing. He lives in a reality. He keeps telling you, live his private life alone.
Chance my arm with a cheeky question. A bit like your mother, you are pursued every minute of every day by lots of people trying to take photographs, videoing, recording what you're saying, pushing. How can you possibly have a private life?
Cheeky question. You're right, that is a cheeky question. But Andrew, to be honest with you, sadly, that line between public and private life is almost non-existent anymed, and we will continue to do our best to ensure that there is the line. You know, we are completely aware that we're in a very privileged position, and I will spend the rest of my life, earning that privilege and trying to bring a spotlight onto things and causes that really matter to me, and I hopefully matter to a lot of other people as well. Everyone has a right to their privacy, and a lot of the members of the public get it, but sadly in some areas there is this sort of incessant need to find out every little bit of detail about what goes on behind the scenes. It's unnecessary. I hope that people get to see me here in this Invictus role, cracking on with the guys and mucking in and having a good time with them. And this is half my official role, but half my private role. This is what I enjoy doing, but the private life has to be private, and I hope people respect that.
But you refuse to listen, so none of the nonsense that you take. But imagine if people were trying to get into your private life, with your family, with all of that. I don't think any of these people would like it. I don't even think they will be able to take a fraction of the pain and unnecessary BS that they put in Harry through. None of them will be able to handle it. Oh my Lord.
And that's what I mean. The gulf is growing wider. It does seem, well, it seems sad. I don't know if it seems rude that they didn't speak. It seems sad. They'll fulfill their functions for the funerals of their relatives utterly independently from each other. And I actually don't see any reconciliation in the near future, possibly when they're much older, you know, you get a bit more mellow, don't you? You're a bit more forgiving. But you know, in the
I mean, how many times Harry has flown to the UK before all of this BS that she's talking? When the Queen was alive, they threw Harry and Meghan threw a birthday party for Lily. Did they show up? Did they show up? Where is that? Where is your concern about that? Where they could have meet their cousins and all of that. Where is your concern about all of this? You people are sick, very sick. There's a sickness over there. I don't know how the people of the UK could sustain this BS that you guys are flaunting non-stop on their medias. You people are sick, very sick. You took one side and that's all you know. Harry keep on telling you, but you refuse to listen. Oh my Lord.
Next, even, you know, God forbid, when their father dies, I still do not see them coming together at all. I think the gulf is wider than ever and appears to be widening even further.
As a psychologist, Joe,
Oh,
have you had Prince...
She's a psychologist? This is what I mean when I said the entire UK need a professional psychologist, including psychologists over there. I can't believe this woman is a psychologist. Are you freaking kidding me? Not knowing all the aspect that they did to Harry and you're talking like that? This is what I mean. Oh my God, they're proving me right again. The entire UK need psychologists outside of the UK, because those people, the psychologists, the reason I said they needed, not knowing this woman, when Meghan was going through her issues, there's a charity, and I remember seeing that woman, it's in one of my videos, who's head of a psychology, mental health organization kind of thing. And I was like, oh, that woman is about mental health and all of that. Where was she when Meghan was going through her things, through her issues? But instead, these people conjugate together to do evil things. Oh my God. The crown blind the people of the UK. This thing needs to go, because it seems like it's holding something within the establishment, within the people of the UK, to black something in their brain. Something. I'm not a psychologist, but they're saying Harry doesn't live in reality, but Harry is in reality as reality can be. But these people, and Harry stepped down, well, his brother pushed him out. Let's not forget that part as well. William pushed him out with the help of Simon case, and Harry took it to court for the judge to review it to see the stupidity that William was doing, which was wrong, but the judge agreed with William. So Harry was pushed out, and now you're telling him to come back. Once they made that decision for Harry, okay, Harry went and
began to address Granny about the 5 options. Your Majesty, you've seen the 5 options? Yes, she said. Barring that, they would only accept option 5. We discussed the 5 options for nearly an hour. At last, the bee got up and went round the table, handing out a draft of a statement the palace would soon be releasing, announcing implementation of option 5. Wait, I'm confused. You've already drafted a statement? Before any discussion? Announcing option 5? In other words, the fix was in this whole time? This summit was just for show? No answer.
Hours, whatever amount of time at the Syndrome office, where the paper was already written for him to choose whatever option it was that was all out. You either in or out. They choose it for him. Harry told you guys. And it went to court. It's not like it's a secret in his book and then you don't know the facts or if he's telling the truth from the book. Harry went to court. Harry went to court and revealed all of this. Some part of the review was made private because they didn't want those information. And all the people that were in Ravik were part of Charles and William's group of people. So what the hell? You don't know any of this before you start psychologist kind of thing for Harry and in the public sphere? You're not a real, oh my God, you're not a real psychologist. All right, let's finish that.
Harry sat in front of you in a chair. Where would you start?
Oh, big question, Bev.
I know where she should start. Get help. Not from the UK. Get another psychologist to evaluate her, because the way she's talking right now, that's not normal.
Look, he's had a lot of therapy, so I'd have to bear in mind that he's already gone through many processes. I think I would say to him, what is it you want? Well, in your ideal scenario, how could you be the most fulfilled in your life? What would you like to happen?
Where is Harry? What is Harry doing? Okay, I could answer that for you, because when Harry, young man, Meghan was not in the picture, he was doing an interview with Matt Lauer. That's a journalist in the US. William was sitting right next to Harry. Matt Lauer asked Harry, what will you want to do when you grow up? Harry said exactly what he is doing right now. Exactly what he is doing right now. Work with things in Africa. Do, like a safari kind of thing. I'll put the video.
I think I don't know. It's a really tricky question. It goes through my head lots. I'd like to fly helicopters, definitely. I'd like to be some sort of helipilot, working for the UN maybe or something like that. Go off and do some, I'd have to be doing something active outside and doing sort of fun stuff, but with an edge to helping people.
How about you, Harry?
He'd probably sit in and play computer games and drink beer.
Thanks a lot. No, I honestly, I don't know how well this would get out, but I'd probably live in Africa. I'd like to spend all my time out there.
In a humanitarian
both. It would be a humanitarian aspect and as well as a sort of safari aspect. As a job, it'd probably be a safari guide, and then
it'd be really good for me because he wouldn't be around, you see, so I get the highest to myself.
At the same time, splitting my time between a charity, in the suit, probably the suit as well. If I became normal tomorrow, then I'd have
that word normal comes up a lot, doesn't it? It really is. It's kind of the holy grail out there.
I feel abnormal.
And you've been to the United States. You spent a little time in Tennessee. You mentioned Disney World. What are your impressions of the U.S.?
Horrible.
Oh my God! No.
That's the headline.
Yeah, exactly.
Harry calls U.S. horrible.
No, I think it's such an amazing place. It's so vast on such a massive scale, and there's so much to do, and it's so different.
I love America. I think it's brilliant. I have a really good time when I'm over there. Everyone's really friendly, welcoming, and yet they're very good at sort of not being too invasive. No, it's cool, and it'd be nice to get back to America sometime soon.
He told you guys. And then they mentioned, what do you think about America? I mean, they joke around and whatever, but he's like, America is very vast and Harry knows his geography. All right. And William was like, there's no intrusive, there's all of that, is beautiful. He loves, that's William who said that. He loved America and all of that. Even though I think it was just BS because Harry was talking at the moment. But pretty much Harry told you what he wants to do. William made the decision for him. And now Harry is doing exactly what he said as a young man, now as an adult living with his wife and children. So he already answered that. So don't go and ruin his life because you guys want to a scapegoat. That's pretty much what it is. You guys want a scapegoat to bash on while the brother is dancing and doing his nonsense back there and not, fulfilling his position as heir to the throne. All right? So you guys are a freaking lunatic.
When he tells you that, how can we orchestrate that happening? How can we move on so that does happen? I don't know even the answer to that first question. That's the problem.
Yeah, and he probably doesn't know either, does he?
He knew.
Yeah.
Harry knew. Harry knew what he wanted to do. Since he was young, he said he's not a book person sitting in the classroom. He knew himself very well. What did he do? He joined the army. He enjoyed the army. What did many of you do? Leaked his location. Okay, therefore he had to get out because now that they know his location and it wasn't safe, not just for him, for the guys around him. So he had to get out and do something else. Harry wanted to go back to the army, whatever, the military. What did he do? He learned to fly a helicopter, Apache helicopter. Harry has been doing everything that he said he wanted to do. So you guys refuse to listen. You guys refuse to listen. And they said he was at the top of his class for learning to fly that helicopter because it was a complex thing to do. So he did that, and what did Harry do? He went back to the military. He doesn't want to stay with his lunatic family, his father and his brother. He doesn't want to stay with them. He'd rather be in a freaking war zone than to be with them. So what you guys are trying to say here? Harry is fine. And then, I do not have that clip, in one of those videos that he did, where he said when he was in the military, there's no way he will start a family. Because why? When he talked to other comrades, his other buddies, who have girlfriends, wives, and all of that, they told him the headache that's going on, I don't know, whatever it is that they talk about, missing their children and all of that. Harry said he did not want to create a family while he's in a war zone, because he doesn't want to put his family to the heartache, or who knows if he's gonna come alive or in a body bag or anything like that. Harry told us everything. So what you guys are trying to shape out for him is not for him, it's for you guys. But Harry is at a place where he is happy. And let's not forget, he even said he's at a place where he wished he could have done couple years prior.
And I have no regrets. It's incredibly sad, but I have no regrets at all, because now I'm in a place where I feel as though I should have been 4 years ago.
So you guys are not gonna pull him back to go over there. And let's not forget as well, he told Anderson Cooper, would you ever go back as a working royal? Harry didn't even take a second. He said no.
Can you see a day when you would return as a full-time member of the royal family? No.
So all of this BS you framing out to the people is for you, not for Harry. Harry is fine where he's at. Alright, so let's continue with your BS, which you guys refuse to listen to Harry himself.
Yeah, I might take a bit of time to drill down. It'll be more than one session, trust me.
Yeah. Well, we've even seen him live stream his therapy sessions, haven't we? And it doesn't seem to have done a huge amount of good. Joe Hemmings, behavioural psychologist, thank you so much for joining us. And one day, I think, on Britain's Newsroom, I might do that to Andrew. We might just have a little therapy session where I ask him who he wants to be.
I think I know who I want to be. I don't think I need therapy.
Oh, there it is. They're all sick. He doesn't need therapy, but he's advising a young family to be separated, to be a scapegoat for another one who's not doing a damn thing. Oh my God, these people are done. Harry knows them. Yeah, when Harry said for the work that he's doing, you could be surrounded by negative sometime.
I think without question, I mean, I've been a pessimist many times because of the work that we end up doing. You can be surrounded by negativity sometimes.
There they are here, included this woman. There's no way. She just, I don't know. Who's in the UK who will use her as a psychologist? No, she need help herself. All right, finally, something Peace is an expert in, being a spoiled brat. Okay, Harry seems like a wanker. Okay, whatever. Let's go to the next one. Oh my God, that was painful to listen to these people. You guys could go on their channel to, oh God. There's another one. Okay. This one is, oh my God, it's long too, 5 minutes. I like 1 minute videos. Oh, GB News. Let me give you a background of this guy. What's his name? Something, Fitz something. Richard, there's his name here. Richard Fitzwilliam, all right? Before you even listen to the BS that's going to come out of his mouth, which I'm already sure that's what's going to come out of his mouth, he is one of the royal rats who spoke about the Oprah interview without even seeing it. Okay? Saying how Harry did in the Oprah interview and all of that. Meanwhile, that thing was not even live. They didn't make it public yet. Okay? So this is who this guy is. Alright. Let's see here. Media demand William apologizes because they are desperate to have Harry back. Alright, so let's go. That's the narrative that they're going through right now. Okay, it's absolutely laughable. Royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliam reacts as Prince Harry will reportedly not return to royal duties until William says sorry. Where? Okay, this is allegedly, okay? Because I do not know Harry have said this any recently. Because as far as I'm concerned, from the docuseries, Harry said he's moved on. Okay? He's moved on. He's not expecting anything from these people. Alright, let's listen to this BS. Very painful thing.
Yes, it's quite extraordinary. I mean, it's utterly bizarre, to be frank. And if it isn't true, if this is just a false report, the Sussexes ought to specifically deny it, because, I mean, it's, as you say, it's absolutely laughable. It takes me back, actually, to January of last year, at the time that Spare was being launched. And Harry gave an interview to the Telegraph, and there he laid out a variety, I thought, of very controversial thoughts. They included the fact that he wanted an apology, and he was calling out, I quote, the royal family, you know what you did, and I now know why you did it, and you've been caught, so just come clean. Precisely what you'd make of that, of course, is to some extent one's own interpretation, but obviously it was the way he felt Meghan was being treated. And then the interview went on almost unbelievably to say that he was doing this for George, Charlotte and Louis, as though William and Catherine were inadequate parents. The whole thing was ridiculous.
Well, Harry grew up in this institution. He knew what he went through, and Meghan haven't said a damn thing. And Colombia, when they were in Colombia, Meghan was like, I didn't even scratch the surface of the BS that they put her through. And then in one interview with Anderson Cooper, Harry said William came to his house looking for Meghan. Why did he go over there for? And then he got so angry and pushed Harry on the dog wall. Why did he go over there to speak to Meghan? And thank God Meghan wasn't there, because things could have gone sour. And then I think he was looking for something, in my humble opinion, to say this is what the Sussexes did. But instead, every nonsense William does to the Sussexes, they ignore him. So he was looking for something to say, oh, there's a scratch on me, or Meghan did this, or Harry did that. But they keep on ignoring him. So why did William left his house to go to Harry's house to speak to Meghan and thank God Meghan wasn't there? They all know. They all know what they did to Meghan. They're not crazy. Okay? They all know. Let's continue.
He was saving the monarchy from itself. The whole thing was just unbelievable then. It's quite extraordinary now, especially with two members of the royal family seriously ill, that this sort of thing will...
Give me a favor. Give me a break with that royal family ill. If they were so ill, why don't they focus on their illnesses instead of Meghan and Harry? Harry have moved on. Oh my goodness, there was something else that I was thinking. I forgot. If I think about it, I'll stop.
Raise its head now.
And meanwhile, Richard, there might be a right royal tip of the hat to the US Patent Office. They've firmly rebuffed the approach for the Sussex's trademark on the American Riviera Orchard brand. Marvellous stuff. Tell us more.
Well, I would have thought that, for example, something like this, and you explained it earlier, the fact that you can't apparently use the name of a county or specific place in your brand, lifestyle brand. I mean, it is rather extraordinary that none of...
Okay, I don't know anything about that. Let me look it up. Okay, so there it is here. They probably were right. I didn't know about this 23 hours ago. U.S. Patent and Trademark Office has denied Marco's bid to use the name and a filing date in August 31st. The Duchess of Sussex revealed her new lifestyle brand in March after filing a trademark for the name American Riviera Orchard in February. So, I don't know. Read WWD. Okay, so I don't know much about it, but okay, so let's go back to Twitter. So they saying something true. I just read it here. But there's probably more to it. Let's continue.
Of the Sussex's administrative team, this is a sort of basic thing that they would know. No one appears to have looked it up or discovered it, so they've now had the setback. In American Riviera Orchard, I mean, we know that Meghan's been sending jams to celebrities, and by the way, had remarkably few endorsements. But nonetheless, this was supposed to be her big thing, and it would tie in, we thought, with a Netflix program on cookery. It looks as if it's going to be very considerably delayed and possibly.
Yeah, it's just a delay. That I agree with them. Whatever issues that they have with the patent company, the patent office, it's just a setback. Then that happened with Archewell as well. there was a setback as well. So whatever the issues they're having, they're just going to fix it. And there's plenty of other names out there. So we shall see. Let's continue.
The name may well have to change.
That's it.
Absolute chaos, clearly.
It's not a... There's no chaos, okay? There's no chaos. The same thing happened to Archewell. Probably some minor thing that happened and they have to change it, and they'll move forward from there. It's not a big deal. That chaos is making sound is not that a big deal.
May help explain why none of this jam ever came to light. I mean, for my sins, I actually quite fancied a taste of it just to see what all the fuss was about. It seems, as you're right, the absolute basics of any business is you get all your trademarks tied up, you get your website domains tied up, you make sure you do all this groundwork before you go to market. This is total and utter incompetence.
Yes.
Talking about incompetent, you guys have no basis to say incompetent, okay? Look at your heir and actually the king right now, please, okay? Please. And we don't even know if she's gonna sell gem, okay? We don't even know. But anyway, look how quickly they want to say how incompetent she is. All right, but let's continue.
Indeed, and also you have to ask, whereas Meghan has always strongly denied any accusations that she is, shall we say, difficult to work for, there has been quite a turnover of people working for the Sussexes over the years, and you do wonder also whether the right ones have been chosen. That's another issue. Otherwise, something like this would just not happen.
And Richard, there's a final point in this I expect an apology story, and apparently the Prince Harry would be prepared to work for the royals and join the firm if the king apologised. That's even less likely.
Can you see a day when you would return as a full-time member of the royal family? No.
I think myself that this report is, shall we say, a little economical with the truth, because this is just a pure fantasy.
I can't believe I'm agreeing with Richard, what's his name? Richard Fitzwilliam. I think it's just BS. Harry already said he's not going back, so I don't know where this thing coming from.
The royal family is the world's most high profile. There's no question that at the Oprah interview with the Harry and Meghan Netflix documentary with Spare and those disastrous interviews that Harry did to promote it, and he made a fool of himself in
he did not.
In my opinion, and put some...
No, he did not. He told his side of the story because all of you, especially you, Fitzwilliam, have been create the narrative of him without even talking to him. Look at the Oprah interview, perfect one. You spoke about the Oprah interview without even seeing it.
We're going to be doing a post-match analysis of Harry and Meghan's interview with Oprah, which is obviously coming out in a few days.
Richard Fitzwilliam's royal commentator.
You've not seen the interview yet, have you? No, great. I think we have a fair idea of where the interview's going, and we have a fair idea.
We do, definitely.
Okay, great. Are you ready to go? Brilliant. Okay, let's go.
What was your overall impression of the interview?
I think that this was an extremely hard-hitting interview.
Do you think, looking back now, that Oprah went rather soft on Harry and Meghan?
It was not a balanced interview. Oprah is a friend and gave them an easy ride. She was totally sympathetic. And there is a great deal in it that the palace will find deeply concerning. Very ill-advised things in, but at least he hasn't put 400 pages of, what he said he took out on the same interview with the Telegraph. He boasted that he'd done so. That seemed to me to be a threat. I just hope that the Sussexes realise that reconciliation one day would be very, very significant, but there is no way back for them at the moment and foreseeably, and I'm sure that King Charles feels the same.
All right, so leave him alone. Harry's moved on. He's doing his own thing, so stop calling him to come over there, like the other guy was saying, to leave his wife, go over there and all this BS.
Can I very quickly ask you, Richard, do you think that Prince Harry is feeling like a bit of a spare himself, rattling around, playing second fiddle to Meghan continually?
What?
Well, now this, of course, is something that people have been speculating on. I have to say that with Invictus, that's fair. That is a remarkable achievement. And then, of course, there's, Child and also Sentibale and Lesotho. I think he was attached to all of those before he was married. There's no doubt that Meghan is very often appears to be taking centre stage. I think they work well enough as a team, but the problem that Harry has, he's only got one project that I know specifically.
You don't know shit.
And that deals with polo. It's an elitist sport, and I doubt.
These are things they made public already. These guys are ridiculous. Harry, many of the squad have said, individually, Harry is fine. Meghan, individually, she's fine. She does her own thing. Together, they are power couples. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's what. Harry's doing his own thing, Meghan doing her own thing, and together they have Archewell. So these people are ridiculous. Okay, this needs to be done. I need to move
he'll
on.
get massive numbers of viewers, rather like the Invictus for series for Netflix, which, yes, it had fascinating stories, but it was some 5 to 6 hours long, and people didn't tune in. If they're going to keep their contract, it expires next year, they must do work. And let's hope, for the sake of the royal family, that there's some sort of balance, because otherwise you never know what else may be written, an interview may come out. They're completely unpredictable, but there's also a
that's because they're not telling you what they're doing. So they're unpredictable because you don't know what they're doing. Nobody's leaking any information of their work to you guys to go and smear all over the world.
Streak, and that I find deplorable.
Oh, God. Okay. Let me read what's there and then move on. You know what happened? Prince William told Harry's friend, sent to make inquiries to relate to Harry to booger off. So Harry had to flip the script and save face, but like usual, he just made things worse. I don't understand. Okay, Richard Fitzwilliam, what an appropriate last name. It's perfectly described his sexual... Okay, I don't want to read about that. Husband, look at, they're calling him husband, but you guys are talking about him non-stop. Okay, so let's leave that alone. Next tweet. Oh my lord. I don't, oh shit, another one. Okay, this one is shorter. Okay, this one says, oh shut up, the monarchy is the fount of mercy as well as justice. I wonder what people will think in 10 years time if no mercy is shown. Okay, that's this person here, on whether a long-term grudge with the royal family toward Prince Harry may negatively affect their image. Okay, so this is the narrative these people are putting out there now. Let me listen to this and then move on. It's 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Oh my God.
Let me ask you about Harry. I mean, I cannot see how he comes back. I think the damage is done.
I think it's difficult. I think the real difficulty is that
wait a second. Wait. Let me isn't this guy at the beginning of this video? I show a video of him. Where is it? Oops, it switched really fast. This guy. Then he was just telling Harry to come back. What the hell? Okay, let me start all over. Listen to it. I need to move on. Oh my God.
Let me ask you about Harry. I mean, I cannot see how he comes back. I think the damage is done.
I think it's difficult. I think the real difficulty is that anything that people have said to Prince Harry has then appeared in a book.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to rebuild that trust.
So, again, one of the reasons why I wrote this book is every word in that book is mine. And I realised that especially...
What do you mean by that?
Because the amount of unnamed sources that have fed information to the British tabloids about me and my wife and my family...
You have a source,
true
and it's you.
and not true. I am the source of that book.
On the other hand, he is a charismatic figure. He is popular still, particularly with younger people, not perhaps Sir Connor as much as the old brigade like us, but with younger people. And it's going to be very difficult if he wants to come back.
Can you see a day when you would return as a full-time member of the royal family?
Because the monarchy is the fount of mercy as well as of justice. And I just wonder what the British people will think in 10 years' time if no mercy is shown. So I think there may be a way back for him in due course, and that a very hard-nosed royal family may find that that didn't maintain popular support, but he's got to come back in a very measured way.
Can you see a day when you would return as a full-time member of the royal family?
That means that when they have lunch with him, They're only...
You know what happened here? Harry doesn't need them. They need Harry. Because right now, all of the nonsense they're trying to do doesn't work. They need that popularity back up. And instead of saving face and apologize to Harry, now they're turning the table on him. It's Harry who wants to come back. Harry already answered all of these. Do you want to come back? No, he didn't even take a few seconds to answer. The other thing that he said, he wished he could have done what he did couple years prior. So they're trying to save face to, I don't know, whatever the BS they try. It's a reverse psychology these people are doing right now.
Can you see a day when you would return as a full-time member of the royal family?
They're desperately trying to control the narrative because they know that if they lose it, then the truth will come out.
Talking about the front page of the Daily Mail rather than their innermost secrets because they won't want it to appear in a book.
Because how do you rebuild that trust?
It's very difficult. I mean, unlike Connor, I get on with all my siblings. I'm very lucky to do so, and I think that's so important for families.
That is a point about families, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. And you absolutely don't air your dirty.
Again, one of the reasons why I wrote this book is every word in that book is mine. And I realize that especially...
What do you mean by that?
Because the amount of unnamed sources that have fed information to the British tabloids about me and my wife and my family...
You have a source,
true
and it's you.
and not true. I am the source of that book.
Linen in public. And, you know...
Isn't what William used to do, smear to the tabloid and everything, things that they talk privately? Harry spoke about that. Every time he tried to do things privately, what happened? They leaked it to the public. Oh my God, there's a bubble over there I don't understand. And they claim it's Harry who's doing all of that. It's after all of those nonsense, Harry cannot get through them, and he wrote his story, his spare. He tell his side of the story.
What did the late Queen say? Never complain, never explain.
Yeah. Institutional role, why be so public? You say you tried to do this privately.
And every single time I've tried to do it privately, there have been briefings and leakings and planting of stories against me and my wife. You know, the family motto is never complain, never explain, but it's just a motto. And it doesn't really hold...
There's a lot of complaining and a lot of explaining.
Endless.
Private, being done through leaks.
Through leaks. They will feed or have a conversation with the correspondent, and that correspondent will literally be spoon-fed information and write the story, and in the bottom of it, they will say that they've reached out to Buckingham Palace for comment. But the whole story is Buckingham Palace commenting. So when we're being told for the last 6 years, we can't put a statement out to protect you, but you do it for other members of the family, there becomes a point when silence is betrayal.
You know, you put people in a ridiculous position, and I'm afraid that even if, you know, if Jacob is right and there was a way for Harry to come back, I think Meghan has now lost an awful lot of love and trust. I remember when they came, they would not...
Don't even mention Meghan's name in your mouth, because Meghan is not coming back. Meghan is done. Okay? She came peacefully, trying to help the institution, trying to help charities. The few seconds she was there, look at her work. Did she ever get any respect and credit from that? Instead, they hate on her. She did the cookbook. Look at Grenfell fire thing. Now the thing came out, the report of what happened. All right. The second she got over there, she found out they were cooking only twice a week. I mean, is it twice a week? Yeah, I think twice a week. When she asked them, how many times you cook? Twice a week. Why don't you cook 7 days a week? Do you guys only cook twice a week? Those people who's talking about Meghan here. You eat every day, right? So once Meghan find out these people need food, what did she do? She helped them create a cookbook.
There is a cookbook, but it's also the story of a West London community who gathered together in a kitchen and discovered the healing power of sharing food. And I'm passionate about food and cooking as a way of strengthening communities.
She asked me, how many days do you offer this service? And I said 2 days a week. And her straight question was, why not 7 days, Zahira? And I said, funding. So she goes, we can do a cookbook.
Now they are self-sustained. None of you gave her credit. But instead, what some of you did is tie her with some terrorist group or some nonsense. So you people are sick. All of you.
Her engagement and they were in South London, and the queues were 12 deep from 7 o'clock in the morning, and mainly black communities who were out there to see her. She threw that away, that genuine affection, that genuine love. You know, the Queen gave her patronage of the National Theatre and various other things, and she threw that all away. And I think, although mercy might exist in the royal family, I think the
I don't even know what to say. Let's just
British
continue.
public have got far more respect for Charles and William and Kate and Camilla.
The homewrecker? Okay.
The campaign was, in that point, was being successful. But it did surprise the people who were causing the grief. It did surprise them when I took myself out of the game. They hadn't expected that. And I'm a great believer that you should always confuse the enemy.
Who was the enemy?
Well, the enemy was my husband's department, because I always got more publicity. My work was discussed much more than him, and you know, from that point of view, I understand it. But I was doing good things, and I wanted to do good things. I was never going to hurt anyone. I was never going to let anyone down.
But you really believe that it was out of jealousy that they wanted to undermine you?
I think it was out of fear, because here was a strong woman doing her bit, and where was she getting her strength from to continue?
That's fine. Let me go. Let me move on. Okay, is that another video? Oh my God. Oh my Lord. All of these people are lunatic. Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna stop. This is gonna be for another time. I don't want to listen to this woman again. They have that narrative going on here.
They're desperately trying to control the narrative because they know that if they lose it, then the truth will come out.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we asked for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.
You are all in this together. And if I may speak personally, we are all in this together. Because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better